I'm Scott Al Miller, and today is Tuesday. That's 2/22/22 on a Tuesday. Like, what are the chances of that happening? 1 in 7, I suppose. Okay, so my math is not that good. This is the Scott Allen Miller vlog. Welcome to the show, and we are making more and more of an effort to up the game. I'm here in Las Piñatas today. I am on the GoPro. We've made a change. You probably can see it. We are recording in a flat color profile, which we've never done before. I'm also amazed. I've also done another video on this, and my battery is still at 100%. The GoPro just gets better and better. Now it doesn't even use battery power anymore. It's amazing. So we're going on flat color, which may look a little bit boring, but the purpose of doing this flat color is that we're able to move to a higher dynamic range and color grading. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you find this interesting. I am new to color grading, and I've never used LUTs or any of this stuff before. I don't color my videos. It's a lot of work. It's a whole different way of approaching video making, and I've always been very much a straight out of camera person, but that's because I come from a photography background where realistic film emulation is pretty much the way to go. Everything else looks like it's digitally altered. Video is just different, and you need to do something. You've got to be punchier, you've got to be more interesting, and you just have to deal with a wider variety of issues. I'm wearing glasses that I'm not used to. I have no idea where the ground is. I almost fell over. And so color grading on video is, while it's technically the same thing, it's just a different animal than you have with photography. And so I've decided it's something that it's needed. We're taking the channel to a whole new level. We've added music a few days ago from Artlist and trying that out. I'm really enjoying it, by the way. But all the videos I've done so far, I have done before I've had a chance to have Valentina approve them. So hopefully, as they are, she's okay with that. But I really like the music, and I like the effect, and I like the style. Like, the whole thing seems really cool. And working with Artlist, I mean, it's only the first little bit, but seems like it's gonna be fun and do a really good job. I think Steve just arrived here. Here he is. Means Mike is coming down the hill. Hey, Steve. So that is really exciting. Today is Tuesday, as I said. We're actually in the house in Leon today, but I didn't have time to make the video until tomorrow, obviously, because I'm here on the beach. But today had a lot of work, lots of meetings, was pretty much stuck in the house, bound to my desk most of the day, even late until the evening. So not a lot of interesting stuff going on, but we did go out this afternoon to deal with a few new things, and one of them is Yvonne and I went out and met with a supplier for handicraft and artwork made here in Nicaragua that we are going to be selling at the store, and found a lot of really cool stuff. Mike, you're on the show.
Hey there. How's it going?
This is the vlog. We get a lot of viewers now, so this is like a big thing. This is like the big show of Las Piñatas.
I see. You're having a wardrobe upgrade.
Yes, new shirt. I've never worn this one.
Getting fancy.
Yep, the glasses, everything. And we start color grading. We have music on the show now. Like, it's a big thing.
Wow. I'm
yes.
impressed. We're very welcome.
We already have a store at the hotel, and that's kind of what brought this about. Another store that shut down in Leon a number of years ago has a big inventory, and they want to work with us to be able to sell it, because we have the shop at the hotel that is actually moving a bit of inventory. So we're now combining with that other store that's much, much larger than us traditionally, and moving their inventory into the hotel. So Yvonne and I spent a bit of the afternoon going through that inventory so we could learn what there was, what kind of goods they sell, what artists they represent, and so forth, because everything is handmade in Nicaragua. Some really cool stuff. Also some things that I would never purchase. So it's different styles. There are gorditas. They're a big thing here, which are these kind of ceramic dolls of chubby women from the kitchen, and it's in the United States very culturally inappropriate to have this kind of decoration, but it's very, very popular in Central America. So they were talking about how there's different types of these decorations are very popular with the Central Americans. A very different group of them are popular with the Europeans. Another set of art is popular with the Americans. I'm apparently annoying the dogs. we'll move on. And it was very interesting, and some of the stuff is just absolutely beautiful. We're really looking forward to selling it. So we went through the inventory this afternoon, and then we are taking it out tonight when I head to the hotel, taking it back in the taxi so that we have it to start selling tomorrow. So that was a big thing. We also ran some errands. Yvonne and I spent a bit of time shopping for the new sound system for the hotel. We came up with a solution, but Paul didn't like it. So he's going to Managua this week to buy a much larger sound system than we were going to buy, because the new part of the hotel is actually a bar. It's gonna be a sports bar and club. So there's gonna be dancing. We need like real music and real sound system to be able to do the things that we wanna do, but we don't wanna put in a big single ugly speaker like a lot of places do, because it's hard to do sound well and it doesn't look great. It's complicated, right? So we're gonna try to avoid that, but that means we're gonna spend a lot of money, and Paul has to go to Managua to deal with it. So that's coming up. We spent a bit of time shopping for that and coming up with our options today at least. And then after that was all said and done, Yvonne and I are like, well, we're hungry. I had skipped all my meals. I hadn't eaten all day. We're like, let's go find some food. But then Paul and Dominica are like, well, we want to come too. And so we're like, well, where can we all go that all has something we like? And I'm like, well, Jalisco is one of those places, because Paul wants steak and Yvonne wants steak, and they do have the really delicious calamari if they get it right, which they did not last time. Watch my episode on it. I was super unhappy with the whole experience at Jalisco, but I'm like, okay, we'll go. It's fine. It does have things that everybody wants. I do want some calamari, so that's okay. Sorry for the amount of wind out here. I didn't put the dead cat on. Do my best to block the microphone. And so I gave in, and we went to Jalisco, and we got there, and there was nobody there. And Dominica's like, well, it's a Tuesday, right? Last time she was sure. I was unhappy because it was a Saturday, and they just couldn't handle their crowd, and the waiters were overworked, and the kitchen was failing, and they were just getting sloppy and making really bad decisions, like I think serving other people's food, because they couldn't keep up with capacity. They should have been turning people away if that was the case, but whatever. So she's like, it's Tuesday. I think Scott's gonna be really happy. So we got in there, and immediately we're like, okay, so we want, we're looking for the calamari, and if you don't have that, the fish. They're like, we don't have anything except meat. Everything, that whole part of the menu, none of it. And we're like, what? Like, so Dominica and I had nothing that we could eat, absolutely nothing. So we left, and at this time, it was Paul and Dominica who were angry. I'm just like, well, par for the course, right? Didn't bother me any. I wasn't expecting very much, but they're like, I can't believe that this amount of their menu they don't have. We didn't even ask about the meat. Heaven only knows how much of that they didn't have, right? It was terrible. The waiter was he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, we're like, whatever, it's cool. But I do love going up to where they are. They're in Fatima on the northeast side of the city, and that neighborhood is so gorgeous. Like, the houses are fantastic, the streets are beautiful, the insides are fantastic, the outsides are fantastic. It is just such a cool neighborhood. I would love to have a house up there, except, right, we don't, for a reason, because we talked about it when we were getting a house. The prices are really good for what you get. That's important, right? You get a really good value up there. Everyone says you want good value on a nice house, go to Fatima, but the houses are enormous, right? So instead of 2,000 square feet, you're looking at 4,000 square feet or more, right? With everything's fancy and everything, it's not like you're getting an old colonial with basic furniture and basic finishes and that kind of stuff. You're getting mansions, right? So they're really large and they're really fancy and they have beautiful finishes on everything. Someone has to pay for that, right? Even when you're in Central America, it's not like those brass doorknobs are somehow cheaper than brass doorknobs somewhere else. The material costs money. And so everything is like that. So the prices, while they're good, are much higher, I'm sure. And the real killer, because that you can work around, right? That's just a balancing act. But the real problem is, for me and for Dominica, and really less for Paul because he has a scooter. Dominica and I like to be able to walk or just grab a taxi. But the actual distance from anything except for Jalisco, because it's located in the middle, is that it's so far away from El Centro, which is where the majority of the restaurants are. And when you're not in El Centro, you generally want to be in Laborio or Supiava, which are the other side of the city, or possibly towards the university, again, the other side to the south. We're the other way to the west, that's the other way to the south. The one place you never want to go is out east, because it's just the highway and the bus terminal and the houses, right? So it's not you don't walk to things out there. Everybody has a car in Fatima for obvious reasons. The amount of time it takes a taxi to get you from there to downtown is long enough. It's not that far. You can certainly walk it, but it would be me doing a really, really obnoxious walk. So no one else would consider it walkable. I would consider it a really obnoxious walk, but I love the area. I mean, you just walk through it and you're just like, wow, this is beautiful. I can only imagine these houses are just fantastic. But there's just nothing going on. There's no stores, no restaurants. It's so limited to just the housing. I can't figure out why it developed that way, but it's fantastic for what it is. So we gave up on Jalisco. We're like, Dominica's like, we're never. And none of us are ever going to Jalisco again. This was the end of trying Jalisco. And really, the only thing we want there is calamari. It is a beautiful venue, stunning, mind-blowingly beautiful, with nothing you can eat. And the one thing they didn't have, and that one thing is really good, but we're pretty sure it's just frozen calamari that they just happen to, do a good job with. You can certainly come up with other ways to get calamari. Fried calamari, not even fancy, just fried calamari. So we went and we spent a bit of time trying to figure out where we were gonna go, because it is hard with all of us, because Yvonne doesn't eat wheat. She's gluten intolerant, and Paul really wants steak. He's a little bit flexible, but he wants, certain types of food. He'll put up with other things, but he has to put up to have something else. Dominica really needs a place that can handle a wide variety of vegetables without onions and peppers, chitoma, and that's pretty tough, because there's like a Chinese restaurant we all want to go to, but she can't eat there because they literally don't have any vegetables, which is weird for a Chinese restaurant. And and then for me, I'm mostly flexible, but I'm looking for something with substance, whereas Dominica is often okay with just potatoes. Kind of has to be, given all the things she can't have. But that combination of the four of us is really hard, even though none of us is a picky eater. Paul might be the pickiest, and he's not very picky. So, because I mean, he would eat fish, he would eat, he'll eat Chinese. He's just hoping for a steak once in a while. And so we hunted around for a bit and finally figured out that Barbaro has salmon, and we're like, oh my gosh, salmon, let's go. So we went to Barbaro. I've never really done dinner at Barbaro. I've been there a number of times, but it's always like having a drink, maybe an appetizer. That's about it. So we went and got dinner there and got the salmon with the Dijon mustard sauce, and both Dominica and I got that, and it was really good. Not US fancy salmon dinner standard, but it's also only $15, which is really expensive for here. Keep that in mind. But we got a nice, good-sized piece of salmon. It was well-cooked, slightly overdone. Not perfect, but good. The sauce, not something I would normally go for, a Dijon mustard sauce. It was good. The veggies were good. Everything, it's a nice place. I like it. It's a nice venue. It's well designed. It's not Jalisco nice from a venue perspective, but it's quite nice and right downtown. Easy walk from our house, which is a big deal. And Paul and Yvonne were able to get steaks and do that, tomahawk, I think, and a New York strip. So we had a really nice fancy dinner, and I needed to work because I had work pushed off during the day. So I was able to hop out and just walk to the house to go back to work while they dealt with dinner, and got 2 more salmon dinners for the girls because they both miss having salmon dinners. So it worked out really, really well. Then after my work was done, we were able to load everyone up and head back to the beach, because we need to be at the beach quite a bit this week. We are overseeing so much work that is going on that we really have to be there, just helping out, keeping an eye on things. And it's an extremely, extremely busy week at the beach. All right, that is it for Tuesday. That was a lot more than I was expecting to have. I thought this was gonna be a short video, and it was really there's just a lot to talk about today. Whew. All right, I'm gonna see everyone from the beach tomorrow here at the beach where I am now, where we're gonna see how the construction is going on El Simple Bar. See you tomorrow.